example 4 asks us to expand 1 plus 2x minus 3x squared to the 6th. Okay? So how I'm going to choose to deal with this problem is that I'm going to think of this in 2 parts. Now, if you think of this in 3 parts, this is going to get out of control very fast, and we don't really have a theorem to deal with that. Our binomial theorem refers to only 2 terms. So I have to think of my 3 parts in terms of 2. Now, the easiest way to do that, think of your coefficient, or your constant, as 1 part, and your 2x minus 3x squared as another. So, in a sense, this is the way we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it as 1 plus 2x minus 3x squared to the 6th. We're thinking of it like this. And so when we do our parts as we move along, these are the parts that we're going to reference. And so that's really important for us. So it wants us to find everything up until we get into our terms with x cubed going on. So that's going to take a little while to occur. So what we need to do right off the bat is make sure that since it's to the 6th, we need to do, 6 rows. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so our 6 rows were 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, and 1, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, and 1, and then finally 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, and 1. So this is the setup that we're going to be using for the problem. So 1, 6, 15, and 20. These should be the ones that we're going to use. So 1, 6, 15, and 20. So what happens with this is that we are going to start our expansion. So we got a coefficient of 1 times 1 to the 6th times 2x minus 3x squared to the 0. Then we add 6 times 1, 6 times 1 to the 5th, and then we multiply that by 2x minus 3x squared to the 1st. So you see we have not only an x, but we also have an x squared. And then we add 15 times 1 to the 4th times 2x minus 3x squared. And then lastly 20 times 1 to the 3rd times 2x minus 3x squared cubed. Right? So now we're going to have some cubic terms. We're going to have lots of terms, as a matter of fact, in this problem. But the key here is to think of it as 2 parts and then take it one at a time. Right? Never go more than 1 at a time. So we start off this part here. This is just the number 1 altogether. Okay, we don't have a bunch of stuff like 1 times 1 to the 6 is 1. Anything to the 0 is 1. And so that is very nice. Now this here, we have 6 times 1, so that's 6. So we got 6 times 2x minus 3x squared, which that is the same thing as 12x minus 18x squared. Right, really nice. Now, this part, a little more complicated. So we've got 15 times 1, so we've got 15. Now, 2x minus 3x squared, remember this is like making our box. So when we make our box, we have to make sure that we get all the little tiny parts together. So when we square something, the 2x is going to be multiplied by the 2x, and so the 2x times 2x makes 4x squared. Then we have to cross multiply them, so 2x times negative 3x squared, okay, that is going to be 2x times negative 3x squared is going to give us, negative 6x cubed. And there's also another negative 6x cubed for multiplying the other way, making them negative 12x cubed. And then we finally get plus 9x to the fourth for that. And so this is so there we go. And now the last part, the little hairier for sure. So I'm going to bring this down here. So this is where it's cubed out. And actually, let me multiply this out real quick. So so I got 60x squared minus, so 15 times 12 is 180x cubed. And then 15 times 9 is 135x to the fourth. And then this last part that we have, super fun. We're going to get 20 times 2x minus 3x squared cubed. So we can do our same little logic for that, because we know that that line is 1331. And so if we get 1331, we've got 1 times 2x times negative 3x squared to the 0 plus 3 times 2x, or this is 2x to the third, plus 3 times 2x squared times negative 3x squared to the first, plus 3 times 2x to the first times negative 3x squared, and then finally plus 1 times 2x to the 0 times negative 3x cubed. And so all together you get 20 times this at the beginning makes 8x cubed. Then we get plus, so we got 3 times 2 squared, so that is 12, times negative 3 is negative 36. So this is, we got an x squared and an x squared, so this is x to the fourth. And then we have plus 3 times, we've got 3 times 2 is 6, times negative 3 squared would be 54. And we've got x and x, so this is x to the fifth. And then we finally also have plus, this would be negative 3x cubed, so that would be minus 27x. Oh, this is 3x squared, x to the 6, minus 27, x to the 6. Which we could then find as 160 x cubed minus 720 x to the fourth plus 1080 x to the fifth minus 540 x to the sixth. So when we put all of these super fun things together, we should be done. And I will go ahead and say that I find that it would be enough to understand what we're doing if you just do the first 3 parts. But from here, you want to go through and add all of these things together to make sure that they have this solution. So you have some like terms, you have the cubic terms, you've got several squared terms, you've got one other one, but you add all these together and you get your final solution. Just remember to apply the logic, and the logic can be applied even inside of the problem if you need it to be.